Okay, let's get the obligatory lame quotes out of the way. Beam us up, Scotty.
We're outgunned. Outnumbered.
So we come out shooting.
I am better.
At what?
Everything.
Star Trek Into Darkness. It is the sequel to the 2009 reboot of the old series and movies and stuff, directed by J.J. Abrams, starring Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, and a bunch of other people. I just watched the 2009 one for the first time last night. I watched the 2009 one last night, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't know if I was. I've never really been into Star Trek. Not saying like I didn't like it. I'm saying I've never even watched it before. I've never seen the series. I've never seen the bloody other movies. Basically all I know about it is catchphrases that I've fucking like heard over time, like the Scotty shit and that thing, and you know. But I really enjoyed it, and I can probably say I'm becoming a fan of Star Trek now. People are questioning whether this movie lived up to the hype and the greatness of the first one, and I can say yes, it did. Speaking as only a modern Star Trek watcher, I think it is just as good as the other one, if not better. It brings back most of the original cast, like John Cho, Simon Pegg, Zoe Saldana, Carl Urban, what's his name, Bruce Greenwood, I think it is, the old guy, and yeah, all the other crew members and shit, the Russian kid, Anton Yelchin. And it brings a new cast member in, Benedict Cumberbatch. Sorry, his name makes me laugh, but he plays the villain, who he is really good. He steals the movie most of the time. He is a very good actor. And it was a very fun movie. J.J. Abrams' direction, I always like his direction. The only other movie of his I've seen is Super 8, which I am also a fan of. I don't know, I just like the way he directs it. When you see the ship flying, it's good. By the way, the visual effects in this movie are brilliant. I was very impressed with them in the first movie. I think they actually may have been a little better. Although I watched this in 3D, which sometimes affects the quality, but the 3D didn't really take me out of the movie at all. It didn't take away from it. It didn't add to it. There are a couple cool moments of stuff coming at you, but mostly it was just the same movie being played in 3D, and yeah, so just that screen I went to was 3D. I usually try not to go to 3D screenings, but yeah, my friends like it, so why not? Although I didn't have many friends with me today because no one wants to go with a lonely Star Trek nerd. But anyway, J.J. Abrams, I like his direction. When you see in the scenes of the ship flying, it's not just close-ups of it, like, oh, you see the writing on the side or the lights on the bottom and it's going past. You see the whole ship heaps of times. You've got the circling camera going around it. And yeah, I love the way he moves the camera, such as when they're all talking in the ship. He'll zoom from like person to person. This guy's talking, all in one shot, camera moves, this guy's talking, camera moves, she's talking. It's honestly really cool. I can't really think of much that's wrong with this movie. I think it was a really good movie. I had a great time watching it. Best movie I've seen this year. I don't know how often I'm going to be saying that. I liked it more than Iron Man 3. My friend disagreed. But not that I'm comparing it to Iron Man 3. I'm just saying I enjoyed it more. But it was really cool. It had its humour. The humour was more subtle and kind of less apparent than in the first one. But it still had its funny moments. It was a smart movie. I mean, I thought I was going to have to be a nerd and be a Star Trek fan to get it, but it is a really welcoming series to newcomers, and I understand it also has nods to the original Trekkies. Not that I probably would have picked up on that because I know jack shit about it. But yeah, it's great for anyone. You don't have to be a nerd to enjoy it. I think that's a misconception with it, because No one really wanted to go see it with me except for one other friend. I don't think this movie ever had a dull moment for me. It is the perfect summer blockbuster, although not that it's a summer blockbuster here in Australia. Summer starts in like December here. But yeah, it was the perfect action blockbuster. It was a great action movie, but it also blended other elements really well. It had the emotional, dramatic, serious scenes, but it was non-stop. It was a roller coaster ride. It was really fun, and that's what it's all about, really. Yeah, we all love a good, slow-moving, talky drama and shit, but this was a very fun experience at the cinema. I recommend probably not watching it in 3D if you are able to, because I think I've heard from people that it's a lot better without 3D and stuff. People say there's a lot of lens flares and crap, but I didn't really have a problem with any of that. All the actors' performances were really good, most notably, of course, Benedict Cumberbatch. Zachary Quinto is always good at Spock, Chris Pine as Kirk. And I'm always a fan of Simon Pegg. He nailed the Scottish accent this time around as Scotty. He's a really funny character. I don't know about you, but this movie kept me on the edge of my seat for a lot of it. I mean, it was always action. The crew was always in danger or going on something. Yeah, they were always in trouble, and it was really fun. And then I like how they developed the friendship between Spock and Kirk. Because I think in most of the first movie, Spock was a douche. I know he's a likable character, and yeah, I didn't really like him for most of the movie. He was a bit of a douche, but yeah, he's half Vulcan, so whatever. But yeah, I like how their friendship grew. They still had their arguments and shit. Not as bad as the first one though, where he threw him out of the ship in an escape pod. It would have been interesting to see Spock's relationship develop more with the girl played by Zoe Saldana. Can't remember her name at the moment, started with a U or something. But yeah, it would have been interesting to see their relationship develop more. I think the villain's great in this movie. I've probably said it already, but I think it's a big step up from the villain of last movie. He didn't really have all that much of a backstory. He just wanted vengeance, and he blew up Vulcan, sadly. Anyway, I think the villain was great. He had a good backstory. You didn't really know who was the villain, who was the good guy. It was very complicated, I guess you could say, but I never found the movie hard to follow. That's why I say it's easy for newcomers. It was a smart movie. Dialogue was snappy. They're using big words. Oh no, that could be difficult for the stupid people of today's society if they're using big, intelligent words. Oh fuck. But yeah, I fully understand it. The plot, I found the first plot a little hard to follow at times, but this one is very straightforward. The plot isn't anything new, but then again, it's going off an old Star Trek story, so it doesn't really have to be. But yeah, the plot could have been a little better, but I honestly didn't really have a problem with it. I had a great time watching this movie. The villain was good. The movie keeps you guessing. I'm not gonna go into... I don't really like going into too much detail in the movie, because spoilers, you know, if I say one thing, it could spoil it for you while you're watching it, but I recommend that you go see this movie. It is a very good time. I had so much fun. I was absorbed into the movie. Oftentimes I forgot I was in a movie theatre, except for when I had to go eat my popcorn because I'm a fat fuck. But anyway, let's get to rating Star Trek Into Darkness. I've been deciding. I knew I was going to give it a high rating. Like at the start of the movie, I'm like, man, I'm enjoying this shit. And then it just kept getting better and better, and I'm like, what do I give this movie? It got better and better as I watched it. It was so much fun. I'm going to give Star Trek Into Darkness a 9.3 out of 10. That is a big review. I'm not one of these uptight, strict reviewers who'll see a great movie and just give it 8 because I'll nitpick. It would be Vulcan, very Vulcan, to nitpick this movie, because it does the job it was trying to do. It lives up to its predecessor and then some. And I think it's well deserving of that rating. And I think a third one is going to be made, I don't know, in a few years' time, which I'm very excited for, I guess. I guess you could say these movies have made me into a Star Trek fan. I'll probably go and check out some of the other movies and maybe even the series and stuff. And it's going to be interesting to see J.J. Abrams at the helm of Star Wars after it got bought by Disney. I'm not sure when that's coming out, but that'll be interesting. I can't say I'm excited not saying I'm unexcited, but I've never seen a Star Wars film before, which is kind of embarrassing to admit. I'm actually not even sure if it's legal to not have seen a Star Wars film, but anyway, eventually I'm gonna get around to see Star Wars and shit and all these other movies that I just haven't fucking gotten around to seeing, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see him do that. A lot of people are probably excited seeing J.J. Abrams take hold of all these new space franchises, because, not new, like, reboot, shut up, I'm not very well wording myself. But yeah, I think he can do great justice to some old classics, which is awesome. And yeah, I look forward to the next Star Trek movie. That's pretty much about it. I know I need to get some more real rants out, because I haven't really done any for quite a while. I'll probably film one today or tomorrow, depending if I can be fucked. I don't know if this will be up first or a rant will be up first. So, yeah, I don't know. I could just be talking out of my ass right now. But anyway, thanks for watching this review. Have a good day. Had to do it. I had to.